Open your email, and there it is. Your ex has sent your child's teacher a 14-page email, and you're copied on it. By paragraph 3, he's managed to discuss your custody case, your parenting, your alleged failure to co parent, your child's behavior at your house, and probably a few things that have absolutely nothing to do with school. And you're sitting there thinking, are you kidding me? Can he do this? How do I respond? Do I call the principal? Do I tell the teacher what's really going on? And underneath all those questions is the one that really scares you. What if she believes him? If you've ever opened one of those emails and felt your heart start pounding before you even finished reading it, this webcast is for you. If you're comfortable, type email in the comments below. No details about your case. Protect your privacy. Just the word email. Because I want women watching this to see how many other moms have been there. I'm Tiffany Lesnik. I'm a family law attorney, domestic violence survivor, and founder of Live Free Legal, where I help women navigate family court with wisdom, strategy, and confidence. Does not form an attorney-client relationship. If you need specific legal advice in your jurisdiction, I encourage you to contact an attorney where you live. Today, we're answering a question I hear constantly in high conflict custody cases. Can my ex talk to my child's teacher? The short answer, probably yes, unless you have a very restrictive protective order or custody order that does not allow him to do so. But that's actually not the most important question. When does a normal parental involvement become another avenue for control, intimidation, false allegations, or post separation abuse? Let's talk about it. So, rule number 1, don't confuse access with decision making. This is where I see people get confused. Depending upon your custody order and the law in your state, the other parent may have rights to educational information or communication with the school, even if you have primary physical custody or primary legal decision making authority. And educational decision making is not necessarily the same thing as access to information. Those can be two very different things. Who decides where your child goes to school? Who makes educational decisions? Who has access to school records? Who may attend conferences? Those answers may depend upon your custody order and your state's law. So before you fire off an email saying, he's not allowed to talk to the teacher, read your order, please. Your order will protect you because you don't want to accidentally ask the school to enforce a restriction that doesn't exist. And here's something really important. Your child's teacher is probably not a family law attorney. She or he is trying to teach 27 kids how to divide fractions. She or he should not have to interpret 6 pages of joint legal custody language. If there is a provision the school genuinely needs to know, identify it. Be specific, be calm. Make it easy for the school to understand. Okay, so rule number 2, do not enter the public relations war. This is a big one. Your ex emails the teacher and makes you look terrible. Everything in you wants to respond. I get it, especially for abused women, because sometimes you've spent years watching this person convince other people that he is wonderful while portraying you as unstable, controlling, vindictive, or crazy. That does something to you. You start feeling like, I have to get there first. I have to explain. I have to make her understand. I have to defend myself. But listen to me. You do not have to win the teacher. Your child's teacher is not the judge. She is not the guardian ad litem. She is not your custody evaluator. She does not need to pick a team. In fact, one of the most powerful things you can do is refuse to participate in the campaign. refuse to participate in the game playing. If he sends 5 accusatory emails and you consistently send brief, polite, child focused communication, guess what? People notice the difference. You want to be someone that your child's teacher wants to communicate with, looks forward to communicating with. You don't want to be that person that every time they email, the teacher freezes up, right? Think about how you respond when the narcissist or the abuser emails you, right? You see their name show up in your inbox and you have that gut reaction, that reflex, like, oh no, it's him. What does he have to say? Other people have those kind of reactions too. Whenever they have to interact with other people, they're not pleasant. Don't become that person. Don't become panicky. Don't become overly anxious. Don't become that person that is constantly harassing or inundating your child's teacher with email after email after email. You don't necessarily have to point out for her all the flaws in what he's saying, all the lies in what he's saying. Let the contrast speak for itself. Be that calm, polite, kind person that she wants to interact with. They're going to see the difference between the two of you. So that's something I want you to write down. You don't have to announce your credibility. You don't have to explain your credibility, right? Just build it with your behavior. So rule number 3, ask yourself one question before you respond to his email to the teacher. Okay, so let's make this interactive. Your ex sends an email to the teacher containing 3 false statements about you. Do you A, correct every single one, B, ignore everything, or C, correct only what actually matters to your child's education, safety, or the school's responsibilities? I'm going with C. If you're a chronic over explainer and ladies, recovering people pleasers, I'm talking to us here. This is hard because you think silence means agreement. It doesn't. You do not have to correct every lie, right? Ask, does this information affect something the school actually needs to do? Pickup authorization? Yes. A medical issue? Yes. An inaccurate statement about a custody order? Potentially, yes. Something affecting your child's educational needs? Possibly, yes. His opinion that you're difficult? Probably not. You can let that one float right on by. When something does require correction, keep it boring. Use Yellow Rock. Maybe, here's an example. Thank you for including me. For clarification, the current custody order provides that I have final educational decision making authority. I've attached the relevant provision for the school's records. Please let me know if you need anything further. Period. Do not say, and while we're discussing court orders, let me tell you about what happened in Christmas of 2023. No, don't do that. Don't take the bait. Okay. So, rule number 4, create your own relationship with the school. Rather than being reactive, be proactive. Too many times with abusers, we're reactive. We're constantly waiting for them to do something and then we're responding. Many times we're responding with anxiety. We don't want to do that. We want to be who we are, lovely, wonderful women and moms, right? Show who you are genuinely. So, one of the best ways to reduce information control is to stop depending upon the other parent as your source of information. If you're entitled to access, make sure the school has your email address, your phone number. Make sure you have access to the parent portal. Make sure you're receiving newsletters. Make sure you're receiving report cards. Make sure you know how parent-teacher conferences are scheduled. Learn how the school communicates with parents living in 2 different homes. If appropriate, you can say, we live in separate households. Would you please make sure both parents receive school communications directly? Notice what's missing from that sentence. My narcissist ex never tells me anything. You don't need it. Solve the problem. Don't narrate the conflict. That principle alone can change so much in high conflict co parenting. Solve the problem. Don't narrate the conflict. So, rule number 5, know when this has become something more serious. Now, there are situations where this is far more than an annoying parent sending too many emails. Maybe there's a protective order, a restraining order. Maybe your custody order specifically limits contact. Maybe he's repeatedly appearing at school in violation of an order. Maybe he's trying to change authorized pickup information when he doesn't have authority to do so. Or maybe he's attempting to remove the child from school contrary to your custody order. Maybe the school is being given conflicting court orders or instructions. That's different. When safety or compliance with the court order is involved, don't expect the classroom teacher to manage it. Go to the appropriate administrator, probably the principal or the assistant principal, and provide the relevant court documentation, probably the entire court order, okay, not just the relevant section of the order, but give them the whole court order. Ask what procedure the school follows and ask what they need. And if necessary, talk with your attorney about what needs to happen next. Again, the teacher should not become the referee in your custody case. So, the faith piece. Wise as serpents, innocent as doves. And I want to stop here because there's a scripture that I think speaks beautifully to women navigating high conflict family court. In Matthew 10:16, Jesus tells his disciples to be wise as serpents and innocent as doves. I love that because sometimes Christian women have been taught that being faithful means being endlessly accommodating. Don't make waves. Don't upset anybody. Keep the peace. Be nice. Don't talk too loudly. Hold your tongue. Give him another chance. Explain yourself again. But Jesus didn't say, be naive. He said, be wise. And he also didn't say, become just like the people who are hurting you. Be innocent. That's the balance. Wisdom says, I see what's happening. Wisdom says, I read my custody order. Wisdom says, I document what matters. And wisdom says, I establish boundaries. Finally, wisdom says, I don't give somebody unlimited access to my emotions simply because they sent me an email. And innocence says, I don't have to manipulate back. I don't have to smear him. I don't have to recruit the teacher to my side. And I don't have to become like him to protect myself. Ladies, strategy is not ungodly. Boundaries are not ungodly. Discernment is not unforgiveness. And refusing to participate in chaos is not failing to keep the peace. Sometimes wisdom looks like recognizing the trap and simply not stepping into it. So let me ask you something. Which is hardest for you? A, not responding immediately, or B, keeping your response short, or C, letting a false accusation go without defending yourself? Or finally, D, worrying about what the teacher thinks about you. Put A, B, C, or D in the comments. Again, no facts about your pending case, just a letter. And I suspect D is going to get a lot of votes. Here's what I want you to remember. Your ex may be able to send that email. You may not be able to control that. In fact, you're not going to be able to control that unless you have a court order that says otherwise. He may talk to the teacher, and he probably will. You may not be able to control that either. He may tell a story about you that you absolutely hate and is absolutely not true. But you still control something incredibly important: who you are in the record. Be consistent, be factual, be professional, be kind, Be polite and know your court order. Build your own relationship with the school and correct only what matters. Let the rest go. Be wise as a serpent and be innocent as a dove. And don't hand someone else access to your piece simply because they put your email address in the CC line. If this helped you, please hit subscribe. We're building a community of women learning how to navigate domestic violence, narcissistic abuse, coercive control, high conflict co parenting, and family court without losing themselves in the process. Share this with one mom who needs it. And next week, we're talking about something even bigger. When school becomes a weapon, educational abuse every protective parent should recognize. We're going to talk about withholding information, interfering with special education, manipulating attendance, school choice, activities, homework, and more. Because sometimes this isn't really about education, it's about control. I'm Tiffany Lesnik with Live Free Legal, domestic violence attorney and survivor of domestic abuse. You don't have to prove your piece, and you don't have to participate in every fight. Be wise, stay grounded, protect your children. And I'll see you next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Live Free Legal on YouTube. See you then.